and welcome, my friends, to Super Mario World ASMR Part 2. In the previous Super Mario World ASMR chapter, we cleared Iggy's Castle, where we cleared Yoshi's Island 4, Yoshi's Island 3, Yoshi's Island 2. Went to Yoshi's house for a friendly visit, but nobody was home. Yoshi's Island 1, and even went up the north to unlock the Yellow Switch Palace. So, that can be found in the previous chapter of this playthrough, which you can find in a playlist on my channel. Now, together, my friends, we will go onward to Donut Land and take on the second castle, starting off in the Donut Plains, a delicious sounding place. I'm getting hungry just thinking about it. Okay, Donut Plains 1, let's go. Okay, I'm going to show you something. I'm going to leave Yoshi behind for a moment. There's an enemy here that'll fly at us that has a shiny cape. If you land on him, he drops a feather, which allows you not only to have a cape, but your spin attack changes. You can glide, like so, and you can attack like this. It's pretty much the best power-up in the game, to be honest. Not that the other one's bad, but watch what you can do here. If you take a running start with the cape power-up, you can pretty much skip the entire level. And I bumped into an enemy by mistake. So, whenever I get the chance during this game to grab a cape power-up or cape feather, I'm going to try my best to get one. These regular enemies with the regular capes don't drop a feather. But hey, a mushroom. I'll take that. That guy throwing baseballs at us. Now, if we're on Yoshi, those enemies won't drop cape feathers. But being with Yoshi gives us a lot of strength and a lot of room for error. So, let's just take our time and enjoy ourselves in Donut Plains 1. Okay. Avoid that guy. The halfway marker. A mushroom. Very nice. Don't worry, we'll get another cape feather at some point. Let's just advance safely. We got a 1-up because we're riding a Yoshi when we hit a block that would normally give us a Yoshi egg. Come back, Yoshi. Luckily, we can use the brief period of invincibility to move past those enemies. Come back, Yoshi. Ooh, just in the nick of time. Getting revenge on that guy. There we go. Okay, I panicked there for a moment because I got an idea. Let's spawn one of those cape enemies. Now. Excellent. Now we have a cape. Now let's get a move on. Okay. What's this information box say? The red dot areas on the map have 2 different exits. If you have the time and skill, be sure to look for them. I'll explain this one later. Let's head for the exit. Not the most dramatic way to end the level, but nonetheless, Donut Plains 1 has been cleared. And that opens the path to Donut Plains 2. So, since we got in a bit of a hurry, because I was trying to show you the Cape Feather and a bunch of other stuff in the level, I got a bit distracted. Whenever I'm introducing a new element of the game, I may ramble on about it for a while to explain it to complete newcomers. When we do the rest of the levels, it should be more relatively straightforward, with less panicking. Now, let's take a moment to explain what that information box said at the end of Donut Plains 1. You see, what it was telling us, if you pay attention to the overworld map, here we are on Yoshi's Island. Now, notice how I'm on Yoshi's Island 2, and it is highlighted in yellow. That's the game telling you that this level has 1 exit, meaning there's only one way to clear the level. But if you go over a level that is highlighted in red, like Donut Plains 1 or Donut Plains 2, it means not only is there a way of completing the level, there's actually a secret exit. Now, I plan on making an entire video after I complete the game, detailing all the secret exits I possibly can. I'm going to make an exception for a handful of secret exits until we clear the final boss, and you'll find out why. Certain key secret exits I'll show you before the game is cleared. The rest I'll leave until the post-game content. So, after all this talking about secret exits, I'm going to choose to leave the one in Donut Plains 1 alone. We'll take that once we complete the game, and I hope you enjoy it when that time comes, my friends. For now, let's go to the Donut Plains 2. Mario Start, an underground level. Good thing about having Yoshi, these enemies that I would normally jump on, and they would go flying around the room, Yoshi outright crushes them, which is good for giving you breathing room. A spare cape feather, excellent. So, make sure not to get crushed ourselves with these moving platforms. Oop, come back, Yoshi. This is one of the reasons I like to have Yoshi at all times. It means, while yes, you may panic if you take damage, you can at least take that damage. It's not an immediate game over, like so. If you make a mistake, as long as you know how to recover, like so. So, you'll tend to find in this game, in Super Mario World, I don't know what your opinion is, but to me, the hardest levels in the game are actually the ones where, oh no, Yoshi. Oh dear. He went off screen, we seem to have lost him. And this is getting into my point I was about to say. In my opinion, the hardest levels in Super Mario World are the ones where the level is constantly forcing you forward, where it gives you less time to figure out what to do. As you can see, I have much less time to plan out exactly what I want to do, which means mistakes are much more likely. But we can still make it, and we'll find Yoshi again. Don't you worry. We'll find our dinosaur friend. As we clear Donut Plains 2. Excellent. And now we've unlocked the bonus game, where we have the chance to obtain some extra lives. Let's see if we get lucky. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we lined up 2 rows, which means we get a 2-up. Have fun. And by clearing Donut Plains 2, we have opened up the path to the Donut Ghost House. Now, normally, when I'm playing this game, at least until the final boss, I'll try and take the most straightforward paths possible, except in special cases. And this is going to be one of them. I'm going to show you one of the secret exits of this game, because I deem it important enough to include before the final boss. Let us go back into Donut Plains 2, and you'll understand why. There is a secret exit hidden somewhere in this level, and it's very useful, so it's worth our effort to go and unlock that secret exit. Now, the reason I'm avoiding that mushroom is because if I grab it, it will replace the cape feather in my spare item at the top right there. I like to have 2 cape feathers at all times if possible. It's pretty much the best power-up you can get in my opinion, or at least it's my favorite. Other people prefer the fire flower, which is an equally viable power-up. It's all down to your personal preference. I prefer the cape feather. Now, the reason this secret exit is so important is look at the green dotted box. That'll become important later. Notice this yellow box gives you a mushroom. That was unlocked by the yellow switch palace, whereas that green dotted box is a box that doesn't exist yet because we haven't gone to the green switch palace. So, let's go find it, and it's beyond a secret exit. To reach it, we have to take this path carefully. Now, notice how there's nothing up here. It's a secret for a reason. We have to take this blue shell, and by hitting this one at the top, some vines are revealed. We can climb up here, where we find a key and a keyhole. So, let's pick this up. Now, listen out very closely for one of the most satisfying sounds in the world. I love this noise. We have accessed the secret exit of Donut Plains 2 to reach the green switch palace, to unlock the power of the green exclamation blocks. And so, by accessing the secret exit in Donut Plains 2, we have found the hidden green switch palace, the buddy of the yellow switch palace, which we activated in part 1 of this playthrough, which you can find on the playlist on my channel. AlakazamASMR, Super Mario World, ASMR, Part 1, Yoshi's Island. Go check it out if you'd like. If not, I still hope you have a wonderful day. In that video, we explained why the Switch Palace was so important. By going to these hidden areas, you unlock blocks which make platforming much easier and makes the playthrough just that much simpler. So, without further ado, let's visit the Green Switch Palace. Okay, watch a little trick here. By manipulating that Koopaling to kick that, we got a 1-up, which is very nice. Now he's served his purpose, we can get him out of the way. So, we got a 1-up. And we can visit, what else? The switch of the Green Switch Palace. Let's go! Switch Palace. The power of the switch you have pushed will turn green dotted blocks into green exclamation blocks. Your progress will also be saved. Continue and save, yes. So now we have unlocked green exclamation blocks, which is going to make our lives significantly easier and definitely worth our time to unlock this particular hidden area. Now, let's go to the next stage. And so, the next level we approach is the Donut Ghost House. Dinosaur Land has several different kind of levels, and one of them is a ghost house, and this will be our very first one we will approach in this playthrough. They're quite challenging levels, but unique and cool in their own way. So let's find out for ourselves, my friends. Let's approach the Donut Ghost House. Creepy. And there's a lot of ghosts above us. This is a ghost house. Can you find the exit? Don't get lost. Very creepy. Now, ghost houses in Super Mario World are largely built on challenging obstacles involving the ghosts of said ghost house. They can get in your way just like that. Luckily, we had our spare cape feather, which is why it's always good to keep a replacement. Now, if you look at the ghosts, they won't move, but if you turn your back, they move. Best to keep out of the line of sight. Another thing about the ghost houses is the fact they're very keen on puzzles. In this case, they're literally spelling out the exit in coins, so the developers are taking it easy on us. Now, this block is very special, and you'll find out why. I'm manually controlling the direction that these coins are going in. So, because I manually directed the coins, we got an extra life. It was like playing a game of Snake. Not the Metal Gear Solid Snake, but, you know, Snake. The Nokia 3310. Although there is a certain other game that Mario stars in that involves Snake from Metal Gear Solid. All you Nintendo fans will know what that game is. That's another game series that's very dear to my heart, Metal Gear Solid. Perhaps we'll explore that someday. But, for now, let's concentrate on escaping the Donut Ghost House. Only a single coin this time. Now, this is where the ghost houses get challenging. They're one of the only stages where a time limit is really important. Speak of the devil. We had to go through that door twice, so that instead of a power block, it turned into green vines, and we find a door leading to the exit. And we gain access to Donut Plains free. Continue and save. Very nice. We escaped the ghost house. Now, I like this little detail. When you cross the bridge, a Cheep Cheep jumps out of the water. You can make that happen as many times as you want, which I think is a cute little touch. I love the fact in Super Mario World they go to such an effort to animate this world and really make it cute and feel alive. It's one big unified map. Now, I'm also going to make one more exception to the avoiding secret exit rule I made earlier, because by far I'm going to show you the most useful secret exit, perhaps, in the entire game. I didn't find this out until I was an adult. If I found this out as a kid, by accident, it would have blew my mind. So, there is actually a secret exit in the Donut Ghost House, which is very, very useful, and worth breaking my little rule over for now, as the reward in this secret exit is too good to avoid. Let me show you. You see, the secret exit in the Donut Ghost House is very simple, but extremely well hidden. There is not a single hint to its location. First, you require a cape feather. Run as fast as you can to the left. And there is a path in the ceiling of the building. Keep moving forward. There's absolutely no way you were going to discover this by accident, unless you were extremely fortunate to decide to fly into the big pile of ghosts that can damage you, which is very unlikely, but I guarantee you there's probably some kind of player that bumped into this by accident. Now, back when this game came out, you didn't really have the internet at all to look up these kind of details. So, that's as simple as it is. Once you know where it is, it looks ridiculously easy. And we clear the Donut Ghost House secret exit. And now you're going to find out why we did that. Continue and save. We access the top secret area. This is blatantly put in by the developers as a reward for finding something so obscure. Now, let's visit the top secret area. You know why you can tell this was very deliberately put in by the developers as a reward? Check out this box. A fire flower. Another one. 2 cape feathers. And in this middle block, we're going to be reunited with our old friend, Yoshi. Good to see you, old pal. I prefer the cape feather, so we'll leave the flower behind. But we can come back for it later. Because, yes, that's the entire level of the top secret area. It's just an amazing hidden little area that makes it very easy for you to restock on your power-ups and get Yoshi again. Or, if you want to repeat getting 1-ups, you can. All you gotta do is already have Yoshi and hit this block in the middle. So now we have 31 lives in our playthrough of Super Mario World ASMR. So, we've got 2 of the most useful secret exits cleared. And you can even see a hint in the middle of the map there. The game is trying to hint at you that there is a secret exit that leads up there, as well as the fact there's a donut house. Well, a ghost house over there. So, thanks to the top secret area, we have 2 cape feathers and are reunited with Yoshi, our dinosaur buddy. So, let's go forward, knowing that if we ever get into a pinch or run out of power-ups, we can just visit this place again and get it. When I was a child, I used to go all the way back to Yoshi's Island whenever I lost my power-ups. And I went back to Yoshi's Island too, because it was the most familiar level to me. And I would just play that level over and over again. I know it like the back of my hand. And I would just keep playing that to get the power-ups I wanted, and a Yoshi. Now, you can just go to the top secret area and get it instantly. But regardless, let's keep moving forward and go on to Donut Plains Free. Donut Plains Free. Let's go. Compared to what we just went through, this will be very straightforward, as the level is indicated with a yellow marker, meaning there's only one exit. Let's get back to a straightforward level in Donut Plains Free. Now, when I say straightforward, it's still going to be challenging. But thanks to our previous actions, not only do we have a cape feather and a Yoshi, as well as a backup cape feather, but we now have green boxes, green exclamation boxes, which drop cape feathers. Now that's an advantage we wouldn't have had if we didn't go to the Green Switch Palace. Very useful in stages like this, where jumping is critical. Allows you to really strategically time your jumps. Now, another nice detail is when Yoshi swallows a Koopa, depending on the color of the shell, when he spits it out, it behaves differently. So, a green Koopa, a plain Koopa. You simply spit out the shell. But later in the game, the different Koopas that Yoshi can eat will become very important later on. You can slide the screen left or right by pressing the L or R buttons on top of the controller. You may be able to see further ahead. Nice. Now, if you swallow a red Koopaling and spit it out, it turns into fire. It's very useful to be able to look with that camera. That camera would have came in really helpful during some Game Gear games, where the camera was the biggest complaint I had about some of those games. Being able to just manually adjust the camera in a platforming game where instant death is very easy to happen is a really underrated but key feature you need in these type of games. When I played Sonic the Hedgehog 2 on the Game Gear, I deeply enjoyed that game, but the camera was the biggest cause of all the game's difficulty. But now, if we are sitting still, we can pretty much get through the level exactly how you want to. Like right now, we're accessing a little minigame. If we guess right... Oh, incorrect. Incorrect. Oh dear. If we got them all correct, we probably would have gotten extra lives, I believe. But still, it's luck-based. Okay, we got a minute to clear the stage. Don't worry. Lo and behold, Donut Plains Free has been cleared by Mario and Yoshi. And we open up the path to Donut Plains 4. I hope you've been enjoying this playthrough so far, my friends. I really enjoy being able to reminisce about this game. Look back on fond memories from childhood. This is an excellent platformer. It would be fun to play it on its own, but to think back on my childhood and the memories I have for this game, perhaps memories you yourself have for this game, or if you're a complete newcomer who just likes Mario games or just wants some ASMR gaming goodness, I hope you enjoy this video, and thank you very much for joining us as we continue Super Mario World ASMR in Donut Plains 4. Another straightforward level right before the castle. Let's go, my friends. Mario start. Okay. Oop, a yellow Koopa. Now check this out. If you eat this as Yoshi, he gains wings, which is very, very cool. You don't bump into the yellow Koopas very often. This is another advantage of having Yoshi on your side. You can also do that if you swallow a blue Koopa, which are uncommon, but can be used to defeat enemies, like that guy who was about to throw hammers at us. However, you do not gain... You don't gain the ability forever. Sorry, a light bulb going off in my head there. Using this, we can clear some enemies out of the way. Defeat some Goombas. Obtain a dragon coin. In fact, let's see if there's a hidden path up here. There is. Lucky. 3 coins. A dragon coin. Thanks to the cape feather, it's pretty easy. And we're at the halfway marker. Eat some fruit along the way to gain some points, and if we're lucky, another life. Speak of the devil. There we go. Goomba's cleared out of the way, so that we can get back peacefully onto Yoshi. We've got to time this carefully. Right. After the cape feather, there is a superstar power-up. Excellent. Brief invincibility. Got to get that dragon coin, though. Getting a little cramped here, but we'll make it. To clear Donut Plains 4 with Mario and Yoshi. That went well, I think. Especially as we now approach the second castle of our playthrough. Number 2, Morton's Castle. So, before we take on the second castle, it's fun trivia time. Koopaling number 2, Morton. His name is derived from the American talk show host, Morton Downey Jr. He was a talk show host, and Morton the Koopaling is characterized by his big mouth, hence his basis on being named after a talk show host, Morton Downey Jr. No relation to Robert Downey Jr. Anyways, fun trivia's out of the way. Let us clear the second boss and take on his castle. Let's take down number 2, Koopaling, Morton. Let's go. We cannot take Yoshi inside the castle with us. Mario must tackle this alone. So be it. Okay. Timing is critical here. An escalator and moving spike traps. We have these enemies, which are frequent in the Mario games, called thwomps. Getting near them makes them angry. And they try and crush you. But if you're quick enough or tactical enough, you can avoid them. We also have this enemy, called Dry Bones. A Koopa that will resurrect if you crush him. That character went on to become a character in the Mario Kart games, believe it or not. Quite a fun character too. Like a necromancer's Koopa. Oops, made a mistake there. Taking full advantage of our cape feather there. I really love the music in the Koopa castles. It's really cute, but also kind of menacing. Like, I can't describe it. It's a perfect mix of intimidating, but still bright and cheery in a way. Also, it's very catchy. So, we have Dry Bones. Now we can defeat him with the cape feather. Now, time this carefully with this jump on the spring. We find some hidden coins. More ledges open up, and we can defeat Dry Bones from below if he's crushed. You can take him down with a pea feather or by attacking him from below. But you have to be careful, because he's not the only challenge here. We also have these moving columns. Luckily, if we're patient and calculated enough, we can pull this off. And this is where the green switch palace comes in handy. We now have an extra block to walk on, and it's not left so much up to a calculated jump. You can jump up and down here at will. Okay. Jump. Avoid Dry Bones. Get some points from a spare cape feather. Now, let's take on Koopaling number 2, Morton. Time for the boss battle. just jump on his head. See? He's going to jump from the ceiling. So make sure it doesn't land on us. We hit him 3 times. And so, Mario defeats Morton, Koopaling number 2. Thank you. Morton Koopa Jr. of Castle number 2 is now just a memory. The next area is the underground Vanilla Dome. What traps await Mario in this new world? What will become of Princess Toadstool? Well, we'll find that out together, my friends, in the next part of Super Mario World ASMR. By defeating Morton, we open the Vanilla Dome. Continue and save. We have now approached the Vanilla Dome, which will be the stage we will tackle next in our ASMR playthrough of Super Mario World. This episode, we defeated Morton, cleared Donut Plains 4, Donut Plains 3, the Donut Ghost House, discovered the top secret area, Donut Plains 2, as well as the secret exit leading to the Green Switch Palace, and Donut Plains 1. After we complete the game, we'll be coming back and I'll show you all the secret exits I can that I'm deliberately leaving out so far. Hopefully that's something to be excited about later on, my friends. And onward to the horizon is the Vanilla Dome, where Castle number 3 awaits us. I hope to see you there, my friends. And so, we have reached the end of this video. If you enjoyed this, please let me know in the comments section what you think. Any thoughts, comments, criticisms, feedback, or if you just want to say hi, please, it's all very much welcome. It's up to yourself if you want to subscribe or send a like, dislike. You do what you want, as long as you have a wonderful day, my friend. I am AlakazamASMR, and thank you for watching Super Mario World ASMR Part 2, Donut Land. See you in the next episode on our playlist. And remember, no matter who you are or where you are, take care of yourself and have a good time, alright? I believe in you, my friend. See you soon. And adios, my friend.